discusses the people's right to instruct their representatives and to petition government for redress of grievances. It's basically the right to make a complaint or to seek the assistance of one's government without the fear of punishment or reprisals. But doing so here in Deltona will get you just that. You'll get targeted. You'll be subject to harassment and repeated attempts of retaliation and intimidation, usually through the use of the city's Code Enforcement Division. This can be found going back many, many years. However, more recently, this commission and city manager made the appalling decision to now implicate the Volusia County Sheriff's Office in the same illicit behavior. Something tells me I might find this happening in the past as well. Did you know that you can just file charges on anyone or have them filed on you, even if you aren't contacted or investigated prior to going to the state attorney's office? It's true. Could you imagine if everyone did that? So now the city's using the legal system as their own little personal playground, and the Volusia County Sheriff's Office deputies as their own little personal do-boys. I don't even have enough time to get into that discussion here tonight. But I have had the opportunity, though, to discuss this, and I understand the old culture of pleasing the city, they pay your check. But that's incorrect. They only sign your check. We approve and fund your check. I've also understood the old culture of just let them file the charges themselves and let the state attorney's office deny it. Nothing happens, no big deal. But that also is incorrect as well. If the officer finds no probable cause to sign the charging affidavit themselves, then that should be the end of it. You don't just appease someone and allow false charges to be brought forward to the state attorney's office. And there's multiple reasons for that. None more so than you are marking someone who has not violated the law. You question that, don't you? What I'm saying, mark them? I mean, what do I mean? The personally filed upon gets damaged? I thought the same thing too, but you want to know how I know 100% certain that it does cause damages and it does mark that person? Let me share you my own personal story. You see, I was fostering a child for about 2 years now, and this year I was in the middle of adopting her. Obviously, when you're a foster parent or a potential adoptive parent, many systems, you're run through many systems, the entire process, the whole length. No problem. And then suddenly, bam, right before we finalize this adoption, something hits. Lo and behold, I have a pending charge I was completely aware of, a felony, no doubt. The charge, interception and disclosure of wire, oral, and electronic communications prohibited, Florida Statute 934.031A, a hit that could potentially prevent or delay an adoption. This commission would go as far as possibly preventing a child from having a forever family if it meant they could intimidate me into silence. Let that sink in. Now, according to the statements, over the course of 1 week, Jane asked for and somehow received consent or direction by the entire council to pursue charges against me. Now, I'm sure everyone's shaking their head asking how she received majority consent, but we can touch that doozy later. Regardless, she has now implicated each and every one of you in this action, with the noted exception of Commissioner McFall, which was not appointed at the time of this. He has been excluded from further. However, the rest of you will be listed not just as a government entity, but also as individuals. With a total of no more than $700,000 a year being spent on people with legal expertise under the city, there'll be no justifiable excuse, just the obvious facts. You should have checked the exclusions to that law. You won't find my future requests through public records requests. They will come in the form of a motion for discovery. Personally, I'm looking forward to the depositions the most. Mr. Mayor, I'd now like to implement Deltona City Commission operating guidelines and meeting procedures 4E. If any commissioner would like to ask me for any clarifications or give me any directions, for example, do not implicate me, I did not give a direction or approval, then I ask that it occur at this time. Silence will be considered as your approval was given.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Next.
Silence? Perfect. See them in court.
Mike Williams.